in any of the three times, one must accept that production is false and like a magician's illusion. Sutra says, monks, it is as follows: when the eye is produced, it does not come from anywhere, and when it ceases, it does not go anywhere. Thus if there were inherent production, a thing should come from somewhere when it is produced, like the rising moon, and go somewhere when it ceases, like the setting moon. In that case it would be permanent, but since production and cessation are mere nominal imputations, one must accept that they are like magical illusions.
Since things do not come from anywhere when they are produced nor go anywhere when they cease, why should external and internal existence not be like a magician's illusions? When dependent arising is seen as it is like a created illusion and not like a barren woman's child. At this point Candrakirti's commentary says that if mere production is negated, it is the kind of object of comprehension that a barren woman's child is, and thus a denial of dependent arising. Inability to assert production in one's own system and placing hope in a system which claims production neither exists, nor does not exist. Destroys the Madhyamika view. Since adherence to such an interpretation creates causes for bad rebirths, it should be discarded like a gob of spittle.
Since production, duration and disintegration, the characteristics of products, do not occur simultaneously by way of their own entity nor consecutively by way of their own entity, when do they occur by way of their own entity? The subjects, production, duration and disintegration do not exist inherently because of not being inherently simultaneous or consecutive. Since production, duration and disintegration would all require the production of production and so forth, disintegration, like production, would have another disintegration, and duration too would seem like disintegration in that one would have to assert that it has another duration. Thus there would be infinite regress. In that case the basic characteristics would not be established. Therefore there is not even an atom of inherent existence. Question: are the characteristics and that which they characterize one or different in nature? Assertion: that which is characterized, namely a product such as a pot, is different in nature from its three characteristics: production, duration and disintegration.
Answer: how can that which is characterized, namely a product such as a pot, be impermanent? It follows that it is not, for impermanence and the pot are inherently different. Alternatively, if they are inherently not different, the four, i.e. the three characteristics and that which they characterize, do not clearly have the entity of existing as functional things. It follows that the characteristics are not characteristics because of being one with that which they characterize, and that which they characterize is not what is characterized because of being one with the characteristics. One should therefore not assert that they are inherently one or different. Assertion: production and so forth exist inherently because the agent of production exists inherently.
Answer: the sprout, as an already existing functional thing, is not produced again while the seed as a functional thing exists, because a sprout is not produced unless the seed undergoes change. Also a sprout that has already been produced cannot be produced again. The sprout as a functional thing is not produced from a non-functional seed, because a non-functional thing does not have the ability to produce an effect. Furthermore, a non-functional effect is not produced from a non-functional cause. A burnt seed does not produce a burnt sprout. A non-functional effect is not produced from a functional cause since the fallacies already explained apply. Since inherent production is impossible, causes and conditions giving rise to it are meaningless. Moreover, should one consider that production and disintegration pertain to that which has the nature of a functional thing or a non-functional thing? Both are inappropriate. Something already produced does not again become a thing being produced, since it is senseless for it to be produced again. A non-functional thing is not produced again as a thing, otherwise it follows that even a barren woman's child could be born. Thus there is no inherent production of either functional or non-functional things. A totally disintegrated non-functional thing does not again become a disintegrating non-functional thing, for something non-existent like a barren woman's child does not disintegrate. A functional thing that is already produced does not become a non-functional thing, because the two are contradictory. Sutra says, all products and non-products are free from inherent existence. Those sages who do not have conceptions, of inherent existence, understand that which is a non-product with regard to all phenomena and are free from views of an inherent self. Assertion, and neither that which has been produced nor that which is unproduced is being produced. That which is in the process of production is being produced.
Answer: it follows that a sprout in the process of production is not being produced by way of its own entity, because that which is in the process of production must be posited as half produced and half unproduced. The produced part belongs to what has already been produced and the unproduced part to what is unproduced. There is nothing in the process of production with parts other than these existent by way of its own entity. If the produced and the unproduced are both considered to be that which is presently being produced, both past and future are also in the process of being produced. Alternatively, it follows that all three times are presently being produced, since all produced and unproduced things are in the process of production. If that which is presently being produced exists by way of its entity, is it considered to have its own nature or not? Both are unacceptable. It follows that it could not be in the process of production.